Alright guys, finally time to show you the container. Been working on it for the past month and a half pretty steady. But I didn't feel like just showing every little step of the way because this detail stuff is a little bit boring and there's not much to it. It's just very time consuming. So it's pretty cozy if I have to say so myself, but we're finally able to move tools in here next and get to some model trains. But I just kind of wanted to introduce it and show you guys all the details and do a little quick tour before we fill it with crap. Um, there's a few things we're gonna have to work on, like a spray booth and building storage underneath. But for the most part, it's finished. You know, it's just adding all of my tools and whatnot to it. So we'll check it out. All right, we'll start the tour as if you're walking in. Got a fireplace, pretty sweet. Signage, and this will be the train layout. Um, kind of wanted. I told you guys from the start. I kind of wanted to feel like a cabin, right? Just to get that feeling a little bit. Figure what better way than having some kind of little fireplace, and I had this laying around from something else. So, kind of made a little mantle, and I think the log legs for the workbench kind of tie it all in together. Um, and then yeah, you got workbench, standard desk height. Um, I had this butcher block countertop laying around, so I used that for my main section here, and then just some 3/4 inch plywood for the rest, which does not stain as nicely as this, obviously. We'll have the computer in the corner, and then this is kind of where I'm just gonna build some little organization for tools. Um, Underneath, we'll probably do some drawers. So I have a lot of stuff that just it's nice to keep in drawers out of the way. A lot of little detail stuff. Detail parts, you know, electronics parts, all that stuff could be there on the main part of the workbench. This is kind of all just stuff from the building project, you know, paint and um, tools and whatnot. But maybe build some drawers in there. I'm kind of only worried about having one good spot for the desk to roll into, right? It might keep this open. I don't know for sure. Mini fridge, can't do without that, obviously. Gotta have that in here. And this is where the spray booth is going to be. We're going to do a video on that soon, hopefully. But I've got a little inline vent fan, and we'll kind of do some lights and make it a real nice spray booth. We'll kind of move around. Oh, TV. Got this thing up there. Moved it with me from the last house. And I'm pushing on it just a little bit to get it to tilt down and crack the thing. So I'll have to upgrade that eventually, but that is what it is. I got a new Northwoods My Road sign. We got shelves for just storage and decoration, right? This is kind of going to be the operations corner. And obviously, you want to have another seat or two for people to sit in here hanging out with me. Or when we do have operations on the layout, which is out there, this could be kind of like the crew area. So we have a printer. Thinking this board that goes across will be for maybe clipboards, and then up here you can have bulletins and lists of engineers and conductors, whatever. But I kind of wanted to have the feel of like a yard office, so I kind of did that teal color, whatever you call it. But yeah, it just kind of gives you that feeling, like, you know, the inside of a caboose color, right? Inside of a locomotive sometimes. So that's kind of the feeling of this corner is more like railroad office. Over here is a little bit more like log cabin, you know, warm and cozy, all that, whatever. Um, Electrical still needs to be finished in a couple spots. These are switches for the lights all out there. So those aren't powered, nothing to it yet. This is interior lighting, which is dimmable. Then my exterior light there, and this will be for floodlights, but there's no power going to that either, obviously. You got some decorations and stuff, but I guess that's really it. I get your whole view of it. That's why I'm in the wide angle mode. But yeah, TV swings out and can go against the wall. Um, I guess we can talk about the layout. Oh, there are lights underneath here also. Uh, don't want any weird shadows from my can lights going down that. These are just those real thin LED can lights. They're not technically a can light. They're more like the replacement thing that goes in a can light, but they work good. Got electrical boxes with them that it's all sealed up nice in the ceiling. Obviously, we did spray foam and all that. Um, these are kind of a nice accent. They're half of a wood post, a circular wood post. I cut it in half just to cover the seam because I did do hardboard instead of drywall. I thought that would hold up better long term, especially for moving the thing. So there's a lot of seam coverage going on. You know, there's some spots where I didn't cover it. But I think for the most part, it's pretty well hidden. I mean, this is a seam here also. But like the corners, I just put trim in there. Obviously, we did crown molding. The baseboards still need to be done there and underneath the desk, but a lot of the edges just got covered with a little piece of trim. So I think it kind of hides it well and looks nice. The layout itself, this is going to be staging. Um, Probably do 5 tracks. But I wanted to get, we obviously had to get our layout height so we could get this built. And this is mounted directly to the wall. Some pretty big bolts through there and screws and everything. That way we're just really solid with this. The workbench is the same way, even though it has legs. I wanted to have my framework for this directly to the studs rather than having a layer of wall in between them. So I kind of just put these up first and then filled in my wall. This is probably one of the least pretty seams, but and then what I was able to do also with knowing my heights is when I put the plywood on here, I was able to have a continuous piece out through the wall. So that'll be easy to tie into once we get to the layout eventually. And then the spray foam is ugly right now, but there was a little gap behind my plywood to the wall. Thought I'd just fill it and then may as well make it a little hill just to fill trees on with, you know, like then it'll look a little more dense. You can have short trees and they can all be the same height and then it looks like they go up. So this is ugly, but it will be covered completely with trees and ground cover, obviously. And the backdrop, this is just a primer for now. I was trying to find a good way to still have a backdrop in here. You know, you don't, it just wouldn't look natural. I mean, this will be a scenic layout. You know, even though it is staging, it'll be, you know, scenic staging. So I just thought we'd put some tape on there and paint 2 different colors. This will be more my style of backdrop for the rest of the layout. Will be like cloudy skies. It's gonna be early spring, so we'll have snow melting. It'll be muddy and yeah. So I just kind of thought having that little divider. If you're taking video of trains, you know you can kind of just stay below it, whatever. But yeah, still need some more things to hang on the wall. We got some more pictures to put up and stuff like that. But I think the next video we're probably gonna be doing is bringing stuff in to put on the workbench. You know, tools and maybe bring a project in here. We'll have to see what happens. All right, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the process of building this. I know I didn't do much for process on the details, finished stuff, but that was one of those time-consuming things. It's like, what am I gonna make a video of just building the workbench? It's not interesting enough. It's basic framework. I think the most interesting part about it was how to make a room within a container that is good for this type of thing. So it's been a process and it's not done yet because it's only 10 feet at the 40. so we still have to build a train layout eventually. But it's not cheap spray foaming. It's not cheap with all the wood and everything. But yeah, we'll have to look forward to actual mile railroading soon. We'll get some track laid up there. You know, we can run some trains here shortly, I hope. And building a spray booth and organizing the workbenches. There's a lot to it. So I'm kind of excited for this part. This is where I can finally do the purpose of this container, right? I can finally do the mile railroading. And that was part of my life since I was 2 years old. You know, you lose it in high school a lot of times. You lose it when you have a family and you're moving and job gets in the way, but I finally got back to it. And that's all thanks to my grandpa for getting me into the hobby. And it's the most enjoyable thing in my life for the most part. So I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Look forward to more. And subscribe if you haven't, because we'll be doing a little more model trains and the rail fanning, hopefully. So have a good one. Thank you guys for watching.